Welcome to Generation Motivation, the podcast. I am your host, Jay Snipes, aka the podcast of the people. Sit back, relax. Part 2 of my interview with Cormega. So we were talking about like the origins of hip hop and whatnot. So let me kind of piggyback and ask about how do we preserve the integrity of hip hop? And because I'm a part of hip hop as well, we celebrated 49 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what would be your tips, for some of the, new artists coming in and all they see is I'm about to make this dollar off of it, you know what I'm saying? So how do we preserve the integrity of hip hop?
Preserving integrity starts with doing research, doing due diligence, study greatness. Find out why this person was so intriguing to people. Study him. Watch footage. Watch interviews. Listen to music. Don't think everything starts with and ends with you, because it doesn't. It was something before you. You look at somebody like Mike Tyson in his prime. He came out with no socks on and gladiator-looking boots. He was inspired by a boxer that came before him. He studied old films of boxers before him. You look at somebody like Kobe. He studied basketball players before him.
Right.
Greatness begets greatness, and greatness respects greatness. So you come into the game, you get a little bit hot, and then you feel that everything's about you, and then next thing you know, you fade out. And 10 years from that point, people don't even remember who you are.
Don't remember you.
It happens. So to preserve our culture, study it. Respect the architect that came before you. Respect the blessing that you have to be able to do something that you enjoy and that you're able to change your lifestyle with it. So me, I study the greats. There's times I don't even listen to current rap sometimes. I'll go back and I listen to the Shams and Rakim, Slick Rick, Coogee Rap.
Yeah.
Things of that. Ultramagnetic even.
Oh, like boy.
Dr. Dre, The Chronic.
Right.
So you study greats and you try to be as great as they are. And to preserve it, you fight for it. The same way you try to preserve your home and your family. You fight for it. By fighting for it, I don't mean you have to be physical. It could be a artistic fight. You be creative. You try to do things that excites the world, like these artists before us did.
Right. No doubt. Hey, before we jump into the album, podcast is Generation Motivation. So, and I know you're a very humble dude, but I would love to shine a light on some of your philanthropic endeavors. You know what I'm saying? I know what you do from the heart. So it's not all about the fanfare. Mm-hmm. But on the same token, I think when a person of your stature does something that makes a positive impact on the community, I still think it should be celebrated and highlighted, because there are people out there that may not necessarily, even though it's in the back of their mind that kids need backpacks,
mm-hmm.
but if their kids have backpacks and everyone that runs in their circle has a backpack, they might not necessarily, it's not on the forefront that there are other kids out there that might live 10 miles down the road that don't have backpacks.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I think it's good to touch on some of your philanthropic endeavors, man. Let the people know, what you've been doing, man, in between albums.
Well, wow, as far as stuff like that, I don't even know where to start. Like, we did the backpack thing recently. It was an idea I had, and I floated the idea to one of my mans, and he wanted to make it bigger than it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He works at Adidas. He's super humble like me. That's why I didn't say his name.
Yeah.
He's worse than me. He doesn't want any attention.
Okay.
So he was like, let's make it even bigger. So we brought, we had hundreds of book bags given out in Queensbridge, and We had the ice cream truck came, gave everybody ice cream. It was a hot day outside.
Yeah.
What else? We had pizza from Crave Pizza. Shout out to Crave Pizza. So we fed the hood and then gave them the backpacks, and those backpacks cost like $50-something.
Yeah.
Those Adidas ones are not the little
Yeah.
Chinese store ones.
Yeah.
So after I found out the price, I decided I needed one for myself.
So you got one. You got one.
But on a serious note, I did that, but we also circled back and came back and gave out backpacks with school supplies in it.
Okay.
The ones that Adidas ones, we wasn't giving supplies with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The
bag is
it has a lifetime warranty.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I circled back and we gave some more bags. Shout out to my man Tim. He always helps with that. I went out to Far Rockaway, different part of Queens. We sent some out there, and we want to send some out to Baltimore and other places. But that was just the backpacks. Prior to that, I sent out footballs to a community center in Baltimore, a group home in New York,
Yeah.
Queensbridge Community Center, a school in North Carolina for autistic kids.
Okay.
So we do stuff like that. What else? I've done coat drives. I had a coat drive, and there was a show after the coat drive. And when the show was over, I just gave all the money to that organization. Because that was money for me. That was my show, but I just gave them the money.
That's what's up, bro.
So I've been doing stuff like this. You know, Jackie, my publicist, sometimes she gets mad at me because I don't say nothing.
She told me. She
Yeah.
told me she got mad at you.
Yeah, like when I took when I did the Six Flags trips, when I took the whole
Yeah.
trip to Six Flags, she was mad at me.
Yeah.
So I could have had a lot of press.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't do it for that.
You're just doing it from the heart.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So basically, so much community stuff I do, I don't remember it all.
What about the prisons? Getting back into the prisons.
What do I do for the prisons? Well, I used to go to prisons and perform.
Yeah.
I'm trying to send some books to prison soon. But as far as, I don't know what I've done for the prison. I can't take credit for doing anything for prison. Only credit I can take is all those guys in jail that be asking me for money. So I guess I do for the prison.
Right. That's funny. Hey, so you're also an author.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
I made a book a couple of years ago. It was based on the true meaning, ironically.
No doubt.
It was called Understanding the True Meaning, and it was breaking down songs, and I had the producers come on there and talk. But I was missing a few producers, so I recently redid the book.
Okay.
It's not out yet, but it's going to have more of the producers, going to have more insight, so that's that. I did a book also called A Black Book.
Yeah.
It's available digitally. It was a book of quotes. I'm going to have it out physically, hopefully in the next 5 months. I'll have it out physically.
Well, you got a lot on your plate, so
Yeah. So it might take longer.
Yeah.
So I got those two books. I have another book that I did that it's not out yet, but it's sitting. It's on deck. And then I want to do a book for this Realness 2 album.
Yeah.
So that's the books that I've done.
Jump into it, man. Realness 2, man. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. You know, let the folks know a little bit about the production. You know what I'm saying? Where your mindset, was when you were recording the album. I feel like it's with it being part 2, I feel like it's a sequel, obviously, from the Realness, and the songs reflect that. You know what I'm saying? So, speak on it a little bit.
Producers, I have Domingo. I have a guy named Pops. I have Alchemist, Big Ty, Shot Money XL, Street Runner, Havoc,
Heavyweights,
Harry Fraud, a new guy named Cam on the track, Tariq Azuz, who's Street Runner's partner, Large Professor. I can't forget a Large Professor.
LP, yeah.
You know, so I don't know how many I named, but I got like 11 producers on the album.
I think that was 11.
Yeah,
actually.
there's only 3 features. It's Nas, Lloyd Banks, and Havoc.
Yeah.
And Russell Simmons did some talking on one.
Russell. So how did you go about selecting who you wanted to produce? And because I know you're the type that everything is thought out. It's not like, hey, I'm just doing it off of the strength of what's going on right now in the industry. How did you come about who you wanted to feature and produce?
I never do, like what you just said, I never do what everybody does. That's corny, that's lame, that's following.
Right.
And sometimes you follow a trend and you'll go down the toilet with it because trends don't last.
Right. This is true.
When I listen to music, I listen like this. Notice my eyes are closed. When your eyes are closed, it's like they say blind people can hear better.
Yes.
And
it heightens
your
sense.
senses.
Yes.
So when I listen to music, I say my eyes are closed for 2 reasons. For one, I'm deep into it, it's heightening my senses. And for 2, I'm not looking at the producer in front of me.
Yeah.
A problem that a lot of people have is they look at the producer in front of them. Such and such is hot right now, such and such, and this guy. So they'll take a bunch of hot producers because you're using your eyes, you're not using your ears.
Right.
And a lot of times these hot producers give you trash. Or they give you, oh, well, you're not such and such, so I'm saving this beat for Drake.
Right.
I'm saving this one for The Weeknd.
Right.
You know, so you got this one.
Right.
So when I hear a beat, it has to captivate me. It's like what you like. If I see a beautiful woman and she's beautiful to me, and then there's an ugly woman next to her, you can't say, yo, that ugly woman is hot, yo, she lit right now. You can't convince me to pick her over the beautiful one. You know what I'm saying? Or if I see a car I like, and then there's a car I don't like, you can't convince me to take the car I don't like. It's about preference.
Right.
When I hear something I like, I want to rap on it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
So, that's how I choose my beats. Or there's producers that I actually got love for that did not make this album.
Wow.
Because the sound didn't match.
But when you have longevity in the game, you can do that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you're able to pick and choose who you want to work with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the respect. And then these 3 particular artists, you know, obviously, full circle coming back with Nas and I mean Havoc, Banks. You know what I'm saying? So how was that to be able to reunite and actually I guess make magic again?
With Nas, you talking about?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, yeah.
Cause all right, well I'll start with that because that's the only reunite right there.
Okay.
Because Havoc always works with me.
Yeah.
So people, it's not even a surprise when they see us. It's like we expect to see Havoc and Mega work.
Yeah.
When me and Nas got back together, it was inevitable that we was gonna do a song. I knew he wanted to work, and he knew I wanted to work. I know what his fans wanted. I know my fans have been wanting me to work with Nas. And his fans have been wanting the same.
Yeah.
We're 2 poetic lyricists. There aren't many. There's mad people in the industry with bars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people with bars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not a poet lyricist like us. We're in a rare company.
Yeah.
So when you have 2 of those kind of people that do the same thing and that people respect for their prolificness, it's magic when you put them together. So we knew what the people wanted, so we just did it. We got that out the way, and it feels good. That's why we call it Glorious.
Glory. Hey, dope. When I tell you a dope track, yo, I mean, just the whole joint, like I was able to, I was privy to be able to listen to some of the album up front, man. Hey, y'all in for a treat. I'm telling you. Do not sleep, man. The realness too. Definitely. 2 questions I normally ask as I wind down. First question, and I know you are a very, very thoughtful individual, deep thought. What do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be
inside and outside of hip hop. If you're there, however you want to. Because I know you're so well rounded. I know it's more than just, you know what I'm saying, hey, I'm a hip hop artist. Hey, you got the fashion thing, philanthropic efforts. I'm an author, father.
My legacy as a man is, let it be said that I stood for something. Let it be said that I had integrity. I loved hard. I was loyal,
And this right here, respect it.
respected.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying? Let that be my legacy as a man. As an artist, let my legacy be, let it be said, let my consistency be respected. It's not often that you will find an artist that they have a thing called the sophomore jinx. Remember, my first album was supposed to be called The Testament.
Yeah.
I made the album Testament. It didn't come out due to politics in the industry.
Right.
So I made The Realness, right?
Yeah.
So Realness was really my second album, but
Right.
it was my first album that came out.
Right.
So The Realness and Testament could go toe to toe on any given day.
Yeah.
But let's act like The Testament's not there. I came after that with the True Meaning album, which won the Source Award, which won all kind of award, which some people argue is my best album.
Yeah.
So I gave y'all a trifecta.
A trifecta.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, I have another solo album called Born and Raised. I think that's my most underrated album. But if you talk to some fans, they'd be like, "That might be my favorite Mega album."
Yeah.
And then after that, I did a Risk album. I wanted to do something different than I normally do. I made Mega Philosophy, which is a conscious album.
Yeah.
Now there's some people that argue this
That's-
might be
that's
your
right.
best album.
Right.
Then I came out with the Mega EP, which people loved. It was an EP. It was a vibe though. And now I just made The Realness 2, which some people saying this might be your
This
best
might.
album.
Hey, it feels good for folks to always feel like, hey man, you know what? I can't even decide, man. I love this one. I love this one. I love this one. As long as it's love, though.
That's a beautiful legacy.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, you know what it is. Oh, this is my favorite album from him.
Right. Exactly.
And after that, so it's like the fact that people still debate over which one. This Realness 2 was my biggest challenge as an artist. Because it's like, you don't make a sequel to something that's already a classic. It's
Right.
difficult because
Right.
you got to live up to that.
Right.
If you look at some of the media comments and quotes about, I had a listening session in New York.
Yeah.
And when I tell you I blew their mind, it was so, I got emotional at my own thing. I had to really fight back. I was like, do not punk out. Do not let me tear come out. Like,
you better not drop a tear.
yeah. I got so much love. It was emotional on a couple of fronts. And we started talking about Prodigy and I got emotional too.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a few of those media people said, I could show you the screenshot when we done.
Yeah.
Mega exceeded my expectations. That's from one. One person said he might have outdone The Realness. It's like, and this is consistent. Like media people, dope media people have given me praise for this album. Like Rob Markman, somebody I respect. Jay Twan, somebody I respect.
Yeah.
Jake Payne. Like these are
Yeah.
high caliber writers.
Yeah.
And I respect their pain. DJ Eclipse turned red when you heard some of my songs, like red in a good way. So it's like the feedback has been beautiful.
Final question. Generation Motivation, the podcast. How do you feel as though you are motivating your generation and generations to come?
I feel like I'm generating my generation in a couple of ways. I give people hope, especially artists. You gotta remember, there was a time when there was no independence. It was just a major, and if the majors don't rock with you, your career is over. Get a job or do something else.
Yeah.
I made people want to go independent, so that's one thing. I also I was arrested before. I've been in jail before.
Mm-hmm.
So you got people that have been in jail and they seen my turnaround. And it inspired them and motivated them to make their life better. Because when you're in there, they try to convince you that you're nothing. And then another way that I inspire and motivate people, I'm going to read something to you. I get this every week. Let me see if I can find this. Damn, hold on. Too many messages.
You're a popular dude.
One message in particular that I wanted to show you because I get a lot of these. Hold on. Look, Mega, hope all is well. And this ain't even the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
Mega, hope all is well. Just wanted to say thank you for holding me down all these years through your music. It got me through some rough times. I get that. This ain't even the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
So If you get stuff like that all the time, it's gonna hit you different. It's like, wow, I have a purpose. This isn't just music. This is like affecting people's lives in a good way. You know, my sleep is interrupted by food on the stove, not gunshots. I'm immune to those. This guy quoted me, and then he says, "Yo, I'm just tuning in to your rhymes." In other words, he's kind of like a new fan. Yo, Cole, I'm proud of you, my man. You did and are doing your thing. A man has to be content in life, you know. So he said, you are that generational talent. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like,
So you can feel it. It's like just the you know, satisfaction and gratification of knowing that you're walking in purpose.
right,
You walking in purpose, man.
right. And when you touch people's lives in a way that's different from just entertaining them, it really it hits you different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything else you want to add, man? Obviously, the album is coming out.
The Realness 2 will be out, is out. I don't know when it's airing. When is it airing?
It'll be out at that time.
Okay, so
yes.
The Realness,
You already have it by now, and it's dope. You know it. But go ahead.
I'll do that over. I like that. Cut. Scene 2. All right. The Realness for Volume 2. No, not The Realness 2. Cut. The Realness 2 is out right now. It's available on all platforms. I will also have the vinyl and CD and stuff for that album. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'm proud of this. This is a magnificent moment for the culture.
No doubt. And with that being said, I would love to thank you once again for for tuning in to another episode. I am your host, Jay Snipes, aka the podcast of the people. This is Cormega, one of the greats. Support him at all costs. Listen with your ears, not with your eyes. You heard him. Listen with your ears, not with your eyes. And as always, Generation Motivation, you know, the purpose of our platform is to highlight those in the community that are using their platform to effect positive change. And this is what this man is doing right now. So, hey, I appreciate you, man.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying? Much love and, you know, much respect and much success, man.
Thank you. Now that this is over, we're gonna list everything's food.
No doubt. I'll holler at you.